What if one of the most powerful meals for your heart, brain, energy levels, digestion, and even healthy aging wasn't some expensive superfood from a remote corner of the world, but something millions of Americans walk past every single day? Something colorful, simple, comforting, and surprisingly powerful. Because hidden inside a well-made burrito bowl is a combination of foods that nutrition scientists have been studying for years. Foods associated with better metabolic health, more stable energy, improved gut health, and even longer life expectancy. Now that doesn't mean a burrito bowl is magic. No food is.
But what happens when beans, vegetables, healthy fats, fiber-rich grains, and lean proteins come together in a single meal? Might completely change the way you think about healthy eating. In fact, some nutrition experts believe that meals built around these exact principles may be one of the closest things we have to a practical longevity meal. So today, we're taking a deep dive into the incredible science, history, myths, and hidden health benefits of the humble burrito bowl. And by the end of this video, you may never look at lunch the same way again. When most people hear the words burrito bowl, they think convenience, maybe something from a favorite restaurant.
A quick lunch, a healthy alternative to a burrito wrapped in a tortilla. But here's what's fascinating. A properly balanced burrito bowl contains many of the same nutritional patterns found in some of the healthiest diets on Earth. Not because it follows a trendy wellness plan. Not because it's low carb. Not because it's keto. And not because it's vegan. But because it naturally combines multiple nutrient-rich foods into one satisfying meal. Think about it. Fiber from beans. Healthy fats from avocado. Protein from chicken, fish, tofu, or legumes. Antioxidants from vegetables. Complex carbohydrates from rice or whole grains. Each ingredient contributes something unique.
Alone, they're beneficial. Together, they become something far more powerful. But how did this meal become so popular? And why are nutrition experts increasingly interested in meals built this way? To answer that question, we need to travel back in time.
The story of the burrito bowl actually begins thousands of years ago, long before modern restaurants, long before nutrition labels, and long before anyone counted calories. Ancient civilizations across Mesoamerica relied heavily on foods that still appear in today's burrito bowls. Beans, corn, peppers, tomatoes, avocados, squash. These foods formed the nutritional backbone of entire societies. What's remarkable is that many of these traditional dietary patterns provided a balance of nutrients that modern nutrition science now recognizes as highly beneficial. Beans supplied protein and fiber. Corn provided energy. Vegetables delivered vitamins and minerals.
Avocados offered healthy fats. Together, they created meals that were filling, affordable, and nutritionally diverse. Fast forward to modern America. Alayhi salam, consumers became increasingly interested in healthier dining options. Restaurants began reimagining traditional dishes. The tortilla disappeared. The ingredients remained, and the burrito bowl was born. What seemed like a simple menu innovation actually highlighted something important. People wanted flexibility, more vegetables, more protein, more control over ingredients. And perhaps without realizing it, they were moving closer to nutritional patterns associated with long-term health.
But history is only part of the story. The real surprise comes when we examine what happens inside the human body after eating a balanced burrito bowl. And the first benefit starts in a place most people rarely think about: their gut. Inside your digestive system lives an entire ecosystem, trillions of microorganisms, collectively known as the gut microbiome. Scientists often describe this hidden world as a forgotten organ because its influence reaches far beyond digestion. It affects immunity, mood, inflammation, energy, and even brain health. Here's where burrito bowls become surprisingly interesting.
Many of their core ingredients are rich in dietary fiber. Black beans, pinto beans, vegetables, brown rice, corn. Fiber acts as food for beneficial gut bacteria. When these microbes digest fiber, they produce compounds known as short-chain fatty acids. These compounds may help support healthy digestion and contribute to overall metabolic health. Unfortunately, most Americans consume far less fiber than recommended, and that's a problem. Low fiber intake has been associated with poorer digestive health and reduced microbiome diversity. But a single fiber-rich burrito bowl can contribute a significant amount of daily fiber needs.
Imagine your gut, alayhi salam, a garden. The beneficial bacteria are the plants. Fiber is the water. Without enough water, the garden struggles. With consistent nourishment, it flourishes. And when your gut flourishes, many other systems in the body benefit too. But digestion isn't the only thing affected, because the same ingredients helping your gut may also be helping one of the important organs in your body, your heart.
Heart disease remains one of the leading health concerns in America, which is why researchers continue searching for dietary patterns that support cardiovascular wellness. Interestingly, many ingredients commonly found in burrito bowls consistently appear in heart-friendly eating plans. Beans, vegetables, avocados, whole grains. These foods contain nutrients associated with cardiovascular support. Fiber may help maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Potassium helps support healthy blood pressure regulation. Healthy fats from avocados can be part of a heart-conscious diet when replacing less healthy fats. And perhaps most importantly,
meals like burrito bowls can be deeply satisfying. That matters because sustainable health isn't built on restriction. It's built on habits people can actually maintain. A meal that's nutritious but enjoyable stands a much better chance of becoming part of everyday life. And that's where the story becomes even more fascinating, because what supports the heart often supports another organ that scientists are becoming increasingly obsessed with: the brain. And what researchers are discovering about food, memory, focus, and aging may surprise you. The human brain weighs only about 3 pounds, yet it consumes an enormous amount of energy every day. Every thought, every memory,
Every decision, every conversation, all require a constant supply of nutrients and fuel. And this is where many people unknowingly sabotage themselves. Think about the typical quick lunch: highly processed foods, refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks. For a brief moment, energy spikes. Then comes the crash. Mental fog, fatigue, difficulty concentrating. Sound familiar? Now compare that with a balanced burrito bowl. Instead of overwhelming the body with fast-digesting ingredients, it provides a steadier flow of nutrients. The complex carbohydrates found in brown rice and beans release energy more gradually. Protein helps improve satiety.
Healthy fats from avocado slow digestion and contribute to a more balanced energy response. But there's another fascinating detail. Colorful vegetables often contain antioxidants. These compounds help protect cells from oxidative stress, a natural process associated with aging. Researchers continue investigating how diets rich in vegetables may support long-term cognitive health. While no single meal guarantees a sharper brain, dietary patterns rich in plant foods are consistently associated with better overall health outcomes.
And perhaps that's the key lesson. The brain doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. One nourishing meal, followed by another, and another.
Over years, over decades. That is where real change happens. But mental clarity isn't only about what happens in your head. It's also about how much energy your body can produce throughout the day. And that's where our next benefit begins. Millions of Americans live on an energy roller coaster. Coffee, sugar, crash, repeat. The cycle has become so common that many people assume it's normal. But what if the problem isn't a lack of energy? What if it's unstable energy? Imagine building a campfire. Throwing paper onto the flames creates a quick burst. Bright, intense, short-lived. But adding solid logs creates something different. Steady heat, long-lasting warmth, reliable fuel. Your body works much the same way. Meals rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats tend to digest more slowly. This slower digestion can help create a more sustained release of energy.
That's one reason many people report feeling satisfied for hours after eating a balanced burrito bowl. Instead of constantly searching for snacks, the body feels nourished. And when energy becomes more stable, many other things improve too. Focus, mood, productivity, physical performance, even food cravings. Which brings us to another surprising advantage, one that affects millions of people every day. Blood sugar balance. Blood sugar isn't just a concern for people with diabetes. It affects everyone, every meal, every day. When blood sugar rises rapidly, the body responds by releasing insulin. This process is completely normal.
The challenge comes when meals repeatedly create extreme spikes and crashes. Over time, this pattern may contribute to metabolic challenges. That's why nutrition experts often encourage meals that contain a balance of carbohydrates, protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly what a well-designed burrito bowl can provide. The beans contribute fiber. Protein helps slow digestion. Healthy fats add satiety. Vegetables increase volume without excessive calories. Together, these elements may help create a more moderate blood sugar response compared to highly refined meals. One reason traditional diets around the world often outperform modern ultra-processed diets is that they naturally include these balancing factors. Not because ancient people understood insulin, but because they built meals around whole foods. And sometimes the simplest wisdom survives for a reason. Still, one of the biggest misconceptions about healthy eating remains. Many people believe nutritious food can't help with weight management. But truth may surprise you.
For decades, countless diets focused on one message: eat less, restrict more, be hungry. And somehow, that became the definition of healthy eating. But human biology doesn't always cooperate with that approach. Hunger is powerful. Cravings are powerful. And eventually, willpower alone often loses. That's why researchers have become increasingly interested in satiety, the feeling of fullness and satisfaction after eating. Because people are far more likely to maintain healthy habits when they actually enjoy their meals. A burrito bowl has several characteristics associated with increased satiety: fiber, protein, volume, texture, flavor. Each contributes to a feeling of satisfaction. Imagine two lunches containing similar calories.
One disappears in a few bites and leaves you hungry an hour later. The other keeps you comfortably full for much of the afternoon. Which one is easier to sustain? The answer seems obvious. And that's where healthy eating begins to feel less like punishment and more like nourishment. But weight is only one part of the story, because something even more fascinating is happening beneath the surface, something linked to aging itself. Tiny processes occurring inside every cell of your body. Processes influenced by inflammation, oxidative stress, and the foods you choose every day.
In the next chapter, we'll explore how a simple burrito bowl may contribute to healthier aging, stronger immunity, and healthier skin. And one surprising ingredient in particular may play a bigger role than most people realize. What if aging isn't just about the number of candles on a birthday cake? What if part of aging is influenced by thousands of tiny choices made every single day? The food we eat, the sleep we get, the stress we carry, the movement we engage in. Scientists studying longevity have noticed something fascinating. People who live exceptionally long lives often don't rely on miracle foods.
Instead, they consistently eat meals rich in whole, minimally processed ingredients. Vegetables, beans, healthy fats, whole grains. Sound familiar? Because these are many of the same foods commonly found in a balanced burrito bowl. Now, let's be clear. No meal can stop aging. No food can make you immortal. But nutrition plays a significant role in how well the body functions over time. One reason involves oxidative stress. Throughout life, cells are exposed to normal wear and tear. Antioxidants found in vegetables help the body defend itself against some of these processes.
Brightly colored foods often contain compounds that researchers continue to study for their potential health benefits. Red tomatoes, green peppers, purple cabbage, dark leafy greens. Each color represents different plant compounds, and together they create a nutritional diversity that many experts encourage. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about longevity isn't adding years to life, it's adding life to years. Maintaining mobility, independence, mental sharpness, the ability to enjoy everyday moments. And surprisingly, those goals may begin with something as simple as what's sitting in your lunch bowl.
Your immune system never sleeps. Even right now, as you're watching this video, millions of immune cells are working tirelessly, identifying threats, repairing damage, maintaining balance. It's one of the most sophisticated defense systems in the natural world. And, like every complex system, it requires resources, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, energy. Many ingredients commonly found in burrito bowls contribute important nutrients that support overall immune function. Vitamin C-rich vegetables, minerals from beans, phytonutrients from colorful produce, healthy fats from avocado. Together, these nutrients help support the body's normal immune processes.
But perhaps the relationship goes even deeper. Remember the gut microbiome we discussed earlier? Researchers now understand that a significant portion of immune activity is connected to gut health. A healthy digestive environment supports healthy immune function, which means every fiber-rich meal may be helping more than just digestion. It may be supporting the body's larger defense network. And here's something many people overlook. Strong health isn't built during moments of illness. It's built during everyday life. Meal by meal. Choice by choice. Day after day. Which leads us to a benefit many people notice before anything else.
Their skin. Walk through any store today, and you'll find countless products promising youthful skin. Creams, serums, treatments, supplements. The skincare industry is worth billions of dollars. Yet one of the most important influences on skin health doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from nutrition. Your skin is constantly renewing itself, producing new cells, repairing damage, maintaining its protective barrier. To do that effectively, it needs nutrients. Healthy fats help support skin structure. Vitamins help support normal repair processes. Hydration supports elasticity and appearance. That's one reason nutrition experts often emphasize eating a wide variety of colorful whole foods, not because they're chasing beauty trends, but because skin reflects overall health. When people adopt healthier eating habits, improved skin appearance is often one of the first visible changes they notice. And while no meal can erase wrinkles overnight, the cumulative effect of nourishing foods can be powerful over time. But beneath the surface, another hidden process may be even more important: inflammation, a word that has become increasingly central in health discussions.
And understanding it may help explain why some foods leave us feeling energized, while others leave us feeling sluggish.
Inflammation isn't always bad. In fact, it's essential. When you cut your finger, inflammation helps healing begin. When you fight an infection, inflammation helps protect the body. The problem arises when low-grade inflammation becomes chronic, lingering quietly beneath the surface. Researchers continue exploring how lifestyle factors influence inflammatory processes, and diet remains one of the most important areas of study. Highly processed foods, excess added sugars, poor dietary patterns. These may contribute to unfavorable health outcomes over time. Meanwhile, diets rich in vegetables, legumes, and whole foods are often associated with better overall health.
A balanced burrito bowl naturally includes many foods commonly found in these dietary patterns: fiber-rich beans, colorful vegetables, healthy fats, whole food ingredients. None of these are magic, but together they create a nutritional environment that supports overall wellness. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. Health isn't usually transformed by a single dramatic decision. It's shaped by countless small choices repeated consistently. One healthy breakfast, one nourishing lunch, one evening walk, one good night's sleep. Over months and years, these small actions become something extraordinary. Yet, despite all these benefits,
Many people still make critical mistakes when building a burrito bowl. Mistakes that can turn a nutritious meal into something far less beneficial. And some of those mistakes might surprise you. Few topics create more confusion today than nutrition. One week, carbohydrates are the enemy. The next week, fat is the problem. Then suddenly, protein becomes the hero. And somewhere in the middle, millions of people are left wondering what to believe. The burrito bowl is no exception. Over the years, several myths have emerged, and some of them prevent people from enjoying one of the most balanced meals available. Let's start with the first myth.
Myth number 1. Burrito bowls are just fast food. Not necessarily. A burrito bowl can be highly processed, or it can be built almost entirely from whole food ingredients. The difference depends on what's inside. A bowl filled with vegetables, beans, lean protein, and healthy fats is nutritionally very different from one overloaded with excess sauces and processed additions. The second myth: rice automatically makes a meal unhealthy. In reality, context matters. Rice has nourished populations around the world for thousands of years. The overall dietary pattern is often more important than focusing on a single ingredient.
The third myth: healthy meals have to be boring. Perhaps one of the most damaging nutrition myths ever created, because flavor is not the enemy of health. Fresh herbs, spices, lime juice, salsa, vegetables. These ingredients create incredible taste while contributing nutritional value. And perhaps the biggest myth of all, that healthy eating must be complicated. The truth is often the opposite. Simple meals built from recognizable ingredients remain some of the most effective nutritional strategies ever discovered. But even healthy meals can become less beneficial when people make certain mistakes. And that's exactly what we're about to explore.
Mistake number 1. Too little vegetables. Many people focus heavily on rice and protein, while treating vegetables an afterthought. Yet vegetables often provide some of the most valuable nutrients in the entire meal. Mistake number 2. Ignoring beans. Beans are among the most underrated foods in America. Affordable, filling, rich in fiber, rich in plant compounds, and supported by decades of nutrition research. Mistake number 3. Adding excessive high-calorie sauces. Flavor matters, but balance matters too. Mistake number 4. Eating too quickly. The brain needs time to recognize fullness.
Rushing through meals can make it harder to notice satiety signals. Mistake number 5. Not including healthy fats. Avocado doesn't simply add flavor, it also contributes satisfaction and texture. Mistake number 6. Choosing only refined ingredients whenever possible. Whole food options often provide additional fiber and nutrients. Mistake number 7. Skipping protein. Protein contributes fullness and supports numerous body functions. Mistake number 8. Making every bowl identical. Variety increases nutrient diversity. Different vegetables provide different benefits. Mistake number 9. Treating the bowl as a reward meal rather than a lifestyle meal.
The healthiest meals are usually the ones people can enjoy regularly. Mistake number 10. Obsessing over perfection. Perfection is rarely sustainable. Consistency is. And that lesson may be more important than any nutrition fact you'll hear today. Because health is built through patterns, not isolated moments. Which brings us to a question many viewers may be asking right now. When is the best time to eat a burrito bowl? The answer is more interesting than you might expect. There isn't one perfect time. But there are situations where a balanced burrito bowl shines. Many people enjoy it for lunch.
The combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats may help support steady afternoon energy. Others prefer it after exercise. Protein helps support muscle recovery. Carbohydrates help replenish energy stores. Some people even choose smaller breakfast versions, especially when focused on sustaining energy throughout the morning. Ultimately, the best time is the time that helps you maintain healthy habits consistently. Because a healthy meal only helps when it's actually eaten. And consistency always beats perfection. But there's another fascinating question. What ingredients create the ideal burrito bowl? Let's build one together. Imagine constructing a meal designed for both satisfaction and nutrition. First, start with a foundation. Brown rice, quinoa, or another whole grain option. Next, add protein, chicken, fish, tofu, beans, or a combination. Then comes the nutritional powerhouse section. Vegetables, and lots of them. The more color, the better. Red tomatoes, green peppers, purple cabbage, orange vegetables, dark leafy greens. Now add healthy fats. Fresh avocado is an excellent choice. Finally, enhance flavor naturally. Salsa, lime juice, fresh herbs, spices. The result is more than a meal. It's a collection of ingredients working together. Providing nourishment, flavor, texture, and satisfaction. Yet numbers and nutrients only tell part of the story.
Because sometimes the most powerful evidence comes from real people, real experiences, real transformations. And in the next chapter, you'll hear several remarkable stories that demonstrate what can happen when simple nutritional habits are practiced consistently over time. Some of them may sound surprisingly familiar.
Let's begin with Michael, a 47-year-old project manager from Colorado. Like many Americans, Michael lived on convenience foods, fast lunches, sugary snacks, multiple cups of coffee every afternoon. Every day followed the same pattern. He felt energized in the morning, sluggish by lunchtime, exhausted by late afternoon, and when he got home, he had little energy left for family, hobbies, or exercise. Eventually, Michael decided to make a simple change. Instead of grabbing whatever was convenient, he began preparing balanced lunches, often centered around burrito bowls. Nothing extreme, nothing restrictive, just more vegetables, more beans, better protein sources,
And less processed food. Within weeks, he noticed something surprising. His afternoons felt different, more stable, more productive. The overwhelming urge for sugary snacks gradually diminished. Was the burrito bowl solely responsible? Probably not. Health improvements rarely come from a single change, but it became a cornerstone habit, a daily choice that made other healthy decisions easier. And that's often how transformation begins, not through dramatic action, but through consistent action, day after day. Sarah was frustrated, not because she lacked motivation, but because she was constantly hungry. Every diet seemed to leave her feeling deprived.
Breakfast left her hungry. Lunch left her hungry. Dinner left her hungry. The cycle felt endless. What Sarah eventually discovered was that fullness isn't just about calories. It's about composition. She began focusing on meals containing fiber, protein, and healthy fats. One of her favorites quickly became the burrito bowl. Black beans, grilled chicken, fresh vegetables, avocado, brown rice. The difference wasn't immediate, but over time she noticed something remarkable. She spent less time thinking about food, less time fighting cravings, less time feeling deprived. For the first time in years, healthy eating felt sustainable.
And sustainability may be one of the most overlooked aspects of wellness. Because the healthiest diet isn't the most restrictive, it's the one people can maintain. At age 58, David received a warning he couldn't ignore. His doctor encouraged him to pay closer attention to his lifestyle habits. Nothing dramatic, no crisis, just a reminder. The future is often shaped by today's choices. David began learning more about nutrition. What surprised him most was how simple many recommendations sounded. More vegetables, more legumes, more whole foods, less ultra-processed food. So he started making gradual adjustments, one meal at a time.
Burrito bowls became a regular part of his routine because they checked multiple boxes at once. Fiber, protein, vegetables, healthy fats, convenience. Years later, David often reflects on that moment. Not because a single meal changed his life, but because one healthy habit led to another, and another, and another, like dominoes falling in the right direction.
Linda is 72 years old, and she has a philosophy about aging. She doesn't obsess over living forever. She focuses on living well, maintaining mobility, maintaining independence, maintaining joy. For years, she has embraced a simple approach to food: colorful vegetables, beans, whole foods, balanced meals. Nothing trendy, nothing extreme. When asked about her favorite lunches, she often mentions burrito bowls, because they contain many of the foods she enjoys most. Fresh ingredients, lots of flavor, and satisfying nutrition.
Linda's story reminds us of something important. Longevity isn't only measured in years. It's measured in experiences. Walking with grandchildren.
Traveling, exploring, laughing, moving freely through life. And nutrition plays a supporting role in all of those moments. Perhaps the most powerful story is also the simplest. James didn't transform overnight. There was no dramatic before and after moment, no viral success story, no miracle. Instead, he changed one lunch, then another, then another. Over time, those lunches became healthier, more intentional, more nourishing. His energy improved, his confidence improved, his daily routine improved. Not because he chased perfection, but because he embraced consistency. And that may be the most important lesson hidden inside every healthy lifestyle. Small actions,
Repeated consistently, can create extraordinary results. The challenge is that many people spend years searching for the perfect solution, the perfect diet, the perfect supplement, the perfect shortcut. Meanwhile, the real answer may be sitting quietly in everyday habits, waiting to be noticed. And in our final chapter, we'll bring everything together: the science, the stories, the lessons, and the powerful truth that makes the burrito bowl far more than just another meal. Over the last hour and a half, we've explored something surprisingly simple: a meal, a bowl, a collection of ingredients that many people might overlook.
and yet hidden within that simplicity is an important lesson about health. Because the burrito bowl itself was never the real story. The real story is what it represents: balance, variety, nourishment, consistency. We've seen how fiber-rich foods support digestive health, how nutrient-dense ingredients help provide steady energy, how colorful vegetables contribute valuable compounds, how protein supports satiety, how healthy fats contribute satisfaction, how whole food meals fit naturally into healthy lifestyle patterns. None of these discoveries are revolutionary on their own, but together, they paint a powerful picture. A picture of what happens when food works with the body instead of against it. And perhaps that's why nutrition can feel so confusing today. Many people are searching for a single answer. One magical food, one secret ingredient, one perfect diet. Yet health often emerges from combinations, patterns, habits, not isolated miracles. And that's exactly what makes the burrito bowl so fascinating. It's not one ingredient, it's the synergy between many ingredients, working together. Just as the systems of the body work together. The heart, the brain, the gut, the immune system, the muscles, the metabolism, everything connected.
everything influencing everything else.
When researchers study healthy aging, they often discover something unexpected. The people who thrive the longest rarely obsess over nutrition. They simply practice healthy habits consistently, year after year, decade after decade. Their meals aren't perfect, their routines aren't perfect, their lives aren't perfect, but their habits are remarkably stable. And that stability matters, because the human body responds to what happens most often, not occasionally, not once a month, not once a year, most often. Imagine two paths. One person constantly jumps from diet to diet, chasing trends, searching for shortcuts, starting over every few months.
Another person quietly builds simple habits: more vegetables, more whole foods, more balanced meals, more consistency. The difference between those paths may seem small today, but over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the gap becomes enormous. And that's one reason meals like burrito bowls can be so valuable. They're practical, accessible, flexible, adaptable. They fit into real life. Because ultimately, health isn't a sprint. It's a relationship.
a lifelong relationship with your body, one that deserves care, respect, and attention. Here's a truth that rarely appears in headlines. The goal of nutrition isn't simply to avoid disease. The goal is to support life, to have energy for the things that matter, to wake up feeling capable, to enjoy meaningful experiences, to remain active, curious, independent. Food becomes incredibly powerful when viewed through that lens. Not a lens of restriction, not a lens of punishment, not a lens of fear, but a lens of possibility. A healthy meal is never just a healthy meal. It's a future investment. An investment in tomorrow's energy, tomorrow's mobility, tomorrow's resilience, tomorrow's opportunities. And when enough of those investments accumulate, the results can be profound. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily, quietly, powerfully.
That's the kind of change that lasts, and that's the kind of change worth pursuing. At some point, every person faces the same question. How do we take care of the one body we'll have for our entire lives? There may never be a perfect answer, but there are meaningful answers, and many of them begin with small decisions. The decision to nourish rather than merely consume. The decision to choose foods that support health. The decision to respect the future by caring for the present. Perhaps that's why simple meals can be so powerful, because they remind us that extraordinary outcomes often grow from ordinary actions. One healthy lunch, one healthy dinner, one healthy day.
Repeated again and again, until those choices become a lifestyle, and that lifestyle becomes a legacy. Not only for ourselves, but for the people we love, the children watching us, the friends learning from us, the family members inspired by us. Health has a ripple effect, and every positive choice sends that ripple outward, farther than we realize.
So the next time you see a burrito bowl, remember, you're not just looking at a meal. You're looking at a collection of ingredients that reflects some of the most enduring principles of healthy eating: balance, diversity, simplicity, consistency, and maybe, just maybe, a reminder that wellness doesn't always come from extraordinary solutions. Sometimes it comes from ordinary choices made extraordinarily well. If you enjoyed this deep dive into nutrition, healthy aging, and natural wellness, be sure to subscribe to NutriVerse for more evidence-informed health documentaries designed to help you live a longer, stronger, healthier life.
And tell us in the comments, what's your favorite ingredient in a burrito bowl? We'd love to hear your answer. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next episode.